The room goes quiet. The text bubbles stop moving. You replay the moment in your head and wince. We've all been there. Those painfully human flashes when "I'm sorry" needs to travel from your mouth to someone else's heart. But here's the twist. How you apologize isn't random. It's shaped by your personality type. Some people lead with repair and logistics. Some lead with feelings and presence. Some write a thesis-length message. And some bake banana bread and show up at your door. Today, we're diving into all 16 MBTI types and how they say they're sorry to the people they love, what their remorse looks like, where they can miss the mark, and how you know they truly mean it. If you love funny, honest, and a little too accurate MBTI breakdowns that make you feel seen, and maybe slightly called out, hit like, tap subscribe, and drop your type in the comments. Because here, we don't just talk personalities, we repair them. Ready? Take a breath. Let's begin. When an ISTJ realizes they've messed up, their apology sounds like responsibility in crisp sentences. They don't sidestep, they don't over-explain, and they don't put the blame anywhere but where it belongs. They'll say, "I was wrong. I should have told you earlier. Here's what I'll do to make sure it doesn't happen again." Then they'll actually do it. Their remorse shows up in punctual corrections. They adjust the routine, fix the broken plan, replace the thing that broke, and quietly keep the promise they made while apologizing. Where they can misstep is tone. Because they value clarity, it can sound formal or unemotional even when they care deeply. The ISTJ's "I'm sorry" lands best when they remember to add a sentence with feeling. "I can see that I hurt you and I don't want to do that again." And then let their dependable actions do the rest. ESTJs apologize like project managers of healing. They come in with a plan. Here's what went wrong. Here's what I should have done. Here's the immediate fix and the timeline. They want to rebuild trust quickly by demonstrating competence and dependability. Their remorse is pragmatic. Drop-offs handled, schedules rearranged, favors returned, and a very intentional "I won't repeat that." Where they can stumble is rushing past the emotional part. In their urgency to repair, they might bulldoze right over someone's feelings. The best ESTJ apology includes a pause before the plan. "I can see how frustrated and hurt you are. I'm listening." When they add that human note, their leadership becomes love you can feel. INTJs deliver apologies like carefully crafted letters. They've already analyzed what went wrong, mapped the cause, and drafted a long-term fix. Their version of "I'm sorry" often arrives with a clean, specific statement. "I misread your need and prioritized the wrong thing," followed by structural changes that remove the problem at its root. They show remorse through consistency and improved systems, not big displays. Where they can miss is warmth. Their minimalism can read as distant or calculated when the other person needs softness. The most effective INTJ apology blends accuracy with empathy. "I understand why that hurt, and I care about repairing this." Once they say it, they prove it by quietly upgrading how they show up. ENTJs apologize with decisive candor. They don't mind going first in a tough conversation and will say, "I was out of line," without flinching. Expect a direct acknowledgement of impact. "I dismissed your input, and that made you feel disrespected," and a clear commitment to new behavior. Their remorse is energetic and visible. They change meeting dynamics, redistribute power, or set a new boundary with themselves, so the problem stops at the source. The pitfall is speed. They can move so fast into solutions that the other person feels steamrolled. The gold standard ENTJ apology is firm and tender in the same breath. "I'm sorry for how that landed. Thank you for calling me in. I'm changing this now." When purpose meets humility, they're unstoppable at repair. The planners fix problems, the next four mend hearts. For them, an apology is less about systems and more about soul. ISFJs apologize by making you feel safe again. They'll say, softly, "I'm sorry," and then show up early with dinner, a blanket, and the exact tea you like. Their remorse is service-flavored. They double-check on you, Ask if there's anything you need and remember the details you mentioned when you were upset. They want the relationship to feel warm and steady, and they'll work behind the scenes to restore that trust. Where they can struggle is over-apologizing for things that weren't theirs to carry, or avoiding confrontation until emotions pile up. The best ISFJ apology includes a gentle boundary with themselves. I'm sorry for my part. I'm going to speak up sooner next time. With that clarity, their care becomes even more healing. INFJs apologize like poets who also read user manuals for hearts. They'll reflect, name both your experience and their impact. I can see you felt unseen when I canceled, and that matters to me, and offer amends that fit your emotional language. Their remorse is contemplative. They'll write a note, share a memory of what they value in you, and create space for a real conversation that restores trust, not just the calendar. Where they misstep is taking on too much of the blame or expecting a single profound conversation to fix everything at once. The strongest INFJ apology pairs depth with patience. I'm sorry, and I'll keep showing up while we rebuild. Their follow-through gives their words a home. ISFPs apologize through presence you can feel. They look you in the eyes, speak softly, and let emotion sit in the room without defensiveness. I'm sorry I hurt you, comes out simple and sincere, followed by a small, thoughtful gesture that could only come from them, a hand-drawn card, a playlist, a mended item. Their remorse is embodied. They listen with their whole attention and want harmony to be authentic, not performative. Where they can struggle is finding words for complex conflicts or disappearing when they feel ashamed. The best ISFP apology adds clarity to tenderness. I was overwhelmed and shut down. I won't vanish. I'll tell you when I need a pause. That promise turns softness into trust. INFPs apologize with disarming honesty. They'll say, I'm so sorry. I hate that I hurt you. And you'll hear how much it matters to them. Then they'll likely write a text, a long message, a letter that names every feeling and asks for the story from your side. Their remorse is values-driven. They want to return to a relationship that feels true, kind, and safe. Where they can miss is getting lost in guilt or making the apology too much about their own anguish. The most effective INFP apology centers impact. You felt abandoned. I get that. Here's what I'll do differently. When they balance emotion with a concrete change, their apology becomes a beautiful turning point. The feelers make repair feel like home. The next four, they make amends with energy, spontaneity, and just enough humor to breathe again, without dodging accountability. ESTPs apologize by getting to the point and getting to work. They'll say, I messed up, that's on me, and then immediately ask, what will make this right today? Expect same-day solutions, calls made, plans changed, a door knocked on in person. Their remorse is kinetic. They'll do the errand, fix the thing, or take the hit so you don't have to. Where they stumble is underestimating the emotional layer, assuming the fix equals the healing. The best ESTP apology includes a beat of stillness. Before we fix it, I want to hear how this felt. I'm listening. That 30 seconds of presence makes their rapid repair land like relief instead of rush. ESFPs say sorry with heart and humanity. They'll own it. I'm really sorry, I was thoughtless. Then reach for reconnection. A hug, a call, a coffee date where they can see your face and respond in the moment. Their remorse is visible and contagious. They'll affirm you 10 times over, crack a self-deprecating joke to ease tension, and shower you with the kind of warmth that says, you matter more than my ego. Where they can misstep is over-promising in the glow of reconciliation or skipping the deeper why. The strongest ESFP apology adds a practical anchor. I've set reminders so I won't flake again. When their sparkle meets structure, trust blooms. ENTPs apologize in high definition. They'll admit fault. You're right, I pushed that debate too far, and then dissect the misunderstanding with curiosity that's actually aimed at caring. Help me understand the moment I crossed the line. Their remorse shows up as improved patterns. Fewer provocations when the topic is sensitive, explicit check-ins about consent for hard conversations, and intentional language that flips from clever to kind. Where they go wrong is arguing the nuance while someone's still hurting. The best ENTP apology slows the analysis until after empathy. I hear you. That stung. I'm sorry. Let's unpack later. First, are you okay? When they prioritize the person over the puzzle, their brilliance heals instead of pokes. ENFPs apologize like confetti cannons of sincerity. They'll text, call, voice note, and show up with muffins if needed, all to say, I hate that I hurt you, and I care about us. Their remorse is vibrant and creative. They suggest a ritual to reset, write you a little anthem, or plan a tiny redemption date that feels like the relationship's soft reboot. Where they can miss is promising the moon without building the ramp. The best ENFP apology pairs passion with a plan. I'm putting our check-in on my calendar. If I get overwhelmed, I'll tell you instead of disappearing. With that scaffolding, their warmth turns into long-term reliability. After the fireworks, the Harmonizers bring steadiness. They make apologies feel safe, logical, and communal, sometimes all at once. ISTPs prefer straight lines. They'll show up with the thing repaired, the task completed, or the logistics handled and say, I'm sorry about earlier, I shouldn't have snapped. Their remorse is understated but real. They're gentler next time. They don't repeat the trigger. And they keep drama low, so safety grows. Where they can stumble is assuming the fix speaks for itself. The most effective ISTP apology includes one extra sentence. I care about you, and I'll do better. Spoken out loud, that line turns competence into comfort. INTPs apologize by walking you through their mental post-mortem and landing on clear ownership. I realized I prioritized the idea over your feelings. That wasn't fair. They value truth, so their I'm sorry is precise, and often accompanied by an elegant new boundary for themselves. Fewer hypotheticals when the topic is personal. A rule to ask permission before devil's advocating. A checklist to ensure they respond, not just reflect. Where they can miss is disappearing into analysis without delivering warmth. The best INTP apology ends with a human connection point. Thank you for telling me, you matter more than being right. That single sentence wraps their clarity in care. ENFJs apologize like they're holding a circle. They'll name the impact you felt, validate it, and invite a collaborative plan. I'm sorry I overstepped. What would help this feel better now, and what can I do differently in the future? Their remorse is relational. They'll check in later, remember anniversaries of difficult moments, and keep tending the garden so trust grows back lush. Where they can struggle is over-functioning, taking on all the responsibility to spare you pain. The strongest ENFJ apology keeps shared agency in the mix. I'll change this part. If I miss it again, please call me in. With that, repair becomes a partnership, not a performance. ESFJs apologize with a heart you can lean on. They'll say, I'm so sorry, and immediately make your environment kinder. Favorite snacks, tidy space, a schedule smoothed so you can rest. Their remorse is consistent. They follow up, they check your temperature, emotional and literal, and they keep showing up until the we're okay feels true, not rushed. Where they can misstep is over-apologizing or trying to fast forward to harmony to reduce everyone's discomfort. The best ESFJ apology includes patience with the slow parts. I know this may take time. I'm here as long as it takes. When they trust the process, their care becomes the cure. So, how do you say you're sorry? Are you the accountability ace, the warm hug, the precision note, the fix-it-now friend, or the confetti cannon of sincerity? Here's the truth. There isn't one perfect way to apologize. There's just the honest way that fits you, and the thoughtful tweaks that help it land for the person you love. If this breakdown made you feel seen, or gently roasted in a healing way, hit like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss our next MBTI deep dive. We post weekly videos that blend humor, psychology, and practical steps you can actually use: conflict, dating, career, grief, and everything in between. Now it's your turn. Drop your type in the comments and tell us your apology style. Do you lead with feelings, fixes, or long essays at 1 a.m.? However you do it, here's your mini script for the road. I'm sorry. I understand how that felt. Here's what I'll do differently. Is there anything you need right now? You've got this. I'll see you in the next one.